Most people want to change their life, but they wait for the perfect moment. They think it takes a big event or a major breakthrough. The truth is, real change comes from simple things done every single day. If you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like you're not living up to what you're truly capable of, this is for you. This is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. You just need 5 small, powerful habits that can shift your direction completely in just 30 days. You don't need special talent. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to show up with intention and follow through with action. These habits are not complicated. They are clear. They are practical. And most of all, they work. You will learn how to take back control of your mornings, train your body to move with energy, speak to yourself in a way that builds you up, read things that change the way you think, and set goals that give your life direction. You'll start small, but the results will grow quickly. If you've ever said to yourself, there's more in me than I'm showing, then stay with this video, because the next few minutes will walk you through 5 daily habits that are simple to follow, but powerful enough to reshape your future. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you is ready for more, and it all starts right now. Number 1, wake up early and take full control today. It sounds simple, but it has the power to change your life. If you're willing to do it consistently for 30 days, you will not be the same person. You will feel the shift in how you think, how you act, and how much you can accomplish. You'll feel the strength of being in charge, not of everything around you, but of yourself. And that's where true power begins. There's something very real about early mornings, when the world is quiet, when distractions are still asleep, when the rush of the day hasn't started yet. This is your time. Most people waste it. They trade it for a few more minutes in bed. They trade it for comfort. But what they're really giving up is the opportunity to build themselves. The person who wakes up early doesn't just get more hours in a day, they get more clarity, more peace, more control over what happens next. And control is everything. When you wake up early, you take the first win of the day. You didn't hit snooze, you didn't delay, you didn't hide from the responsibility to grow. You showed up. That's not just a habit, that's a statement. A statement that says, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm serious. You can't build discipline by talking about it. You build it by living it, day after day. And this habit, waking up early, is the start of that discipline. Now I want you to think about something. Think about how you usually start your day. Is it rushed? Are you waking up already behind, checking your phone, scrolling, responding to the world before you even think about what you want? That is not control. That is reaction. And when your whole life is built on reacting to the world, you become exhausted, you become scattered, you become unsure of yourself. But when you take charge of your morning, you stop reacting, you start choosing. And choosing is what creates direction. It's not just about waking up early for the sake of it, it's about what you do with that time. That early hour is not meant to be filled with noise. It's meant to be filled with presence. You wake up and you check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What do you want to create today? What matters most? People don't ask those questions, and that's why they stay stuck. That's why they live on autopilot, because they never stop long enough to take inventory of their thoughts, their choices, their values. But you're going to change that. Start by setting your alarm 1 hour earlier than usual. 1 hour. That's it. And when it rings, get up, not after a few minutes. Right away, because that first action sets the tone for your entire day. If you delay the first thing, you'll delay everything else. If you avoid the first bit of discomfort, you'll avoid the rest of the growth. But if you face it, if you move with intention right from the beginning, you create momentum. And momentum is how change sticks. When you wake up early, you gain time to do what truly matters. Time to move your body. Time to write down your goals. Time to think without pressure. To read something that feeds your mind. To sit with silence. Or to plan how you will approach the day, not with panic but with purpose. That 1 hour in the morning becomes your space for becoming, for choosing who you want to be and how you want to show up. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what's important before the noise of the world pulls you away. And make no mistake, the world will pull. There will always be demands. But when you've taken the first hour for yourself, you walk into the day with a full cup. You've grounded yourself. You've set your standard. You've already succeeded in something before the world even woke up. And that success builds confidence. It builds belief. It reminds you that you are not behind, you are ahead. You're not out of control. You're in command. But here's what I've learned. Waking up early isn't just about the morning. It's about the night before. If you want to rise early, you must respect your evening. Go to bed on time. Protect your sleep. You can't expect to feel powerful if you've exhausted yourself with distractions the night before. That means turning off the noise. That means cutting out the endless entertainment. That means trading short-term pleasure for long-term progress. The person you want to become depends on the choices you make when no one is watching. You're going to have moments where you don't feel like it. Your bed will feel warm. Your body will feel tired. But remember, this discipline is not about doing what's easy. It's about doing what's necessary. And when you train yourself to do what's necessary even when it's hard, you build a character that cannot be shaken. That's what this habit gives you. It gives you ownership of your mind. It gives you strength over your excuses. It gives you space to rise above the noise and focus on what truly matters. And you will feel it. Not on the first day. Maybe not even on the third. But keep going. Give it a week. Give it 2. You'll notice something. You'll feel less scattered. Less anxious. More prepared. More calm. That early morning will become your anchor. You'll start to look forward to it. You'll start to depend on it. And it won't be a burden. It'll be a gift. A quiet moment with yourself before the world needs anything from you. In just 30 days of waking up early, you will become more disciplined, more focused, more in control of your energy and your emotions. You will no longer drift through your days. You will live them with purpose, because you will have started each one on your own terms. That's power. That's freedom. That's how transformation begins. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to feel ready. You just have to be willing to set the alarm, willing to get up, willing to claim the morning as yours. The results will come. The mindset will shift. The habits will form. And one day, not too far from now, you'll look back at the person who used to sleep in and you'll smile. Not with judgment, but with pride. Because you chose to change. And that change started with one decision to wake up early and take full control today. Number 2. Write your goals down and review them daily. That's not just a suggestion. That's a practice that will shift your direction and your energy. Most people want change. They want to feel progress. They want to improve something in their life. But without clear goals written down where they can see them and think about them every day, their effort remains scattered. Their mind stays unfocused. Their days blur together and weeks go by without real movement. You need a clear target. You need something solid to aim for. Not a wish, not a vague thought. A real goal, something defined, something personal. And most importantly, something that matters to you on a deep level. When you write it down, it becomes real. It's no longer a passing thought. It becomes a commitment, a direction, a reminder of what you're working toward and why it matters. When your goals live only in your head, they get lost. They're drowned out by distractions and noise. You forget what you said you would do. You rationalize delays. You lose sight of the urgency. But when you write your goals down, on paper, in a notebook, on a wall, suddenly you see them. You read them. You interact with them. And that does something to the mind. It forces clarity. It activates responsibility. It builds intention. Write them with detail. Not just "I want to be successful." That means nothing until you define what success looks like to you. Is it a financial milestone? Is it your health? Is it the kind of relationships you want? Is it a level of discipline or freedom? Get specific. Set a goal you can measure. Set a goal you can feel. One that makes you uncomfortable in the best way. If your goal feels too easy, it's not inspiring. If it feels like it won't take effort, it won't bring change. Set a goal that demands your growth. Once you've written them down, your job isn't done. Your job has just started. Now you review them. Every single day. That's how you keep them alive. That's how you keep your focus sharp. Read them when you wake up. Read them again before you go to sleep. Read them when you feel distracted or discouraged. Read them when you're tempted to quit. Because life will test you. The days will pile up. Challenges will come. But your goals, they're your anchor. They remind you why you started. They remind you where you're headed. Reviewing your goals daily doesn't just keep them fresh. It rewires how you think. It trains your brain to see what matters most. It changes what you pay attention to. You begin to notice opportunities you used to overlook. You begin to make choices that are aligned with your purpose. Your mind becomes your ally, not your obstacle. And that shift, that internal shift, is the beginning of personal transformation. Now let me be honest with you. This habit is not about motivation. This is not about feeling inspired once and then waiting for life to do the work. This is about showing up every day with purpose. Even when you're tired, even when you're uncertain. Reviewing your goals is not a passive habit. It's a mental reset. A moment where you remind yourself, this is what I want, and I will work for it. Use a notebook. Use a journal. Use a whiteboard. Use something physical. Don't just keep it on your phone where it can be buried under distractions. Write your goals where you can see them, feel them, engage with them, touch the paper, see the words, say them out loud. You're not just reading, you're training your identity. You're telling yourself who you are becoming and what you are building. And when you review them, don't just read the words, reflect on them. Ask yourself, am I acting in alignment with this? What did I do today that moved me one step closer? What did I avoid? What excuses did I let in? This level of self-awareness is not punishment. It's power. You can't change what you won't face. But once you start facing your behavior in the light of your goals, you begin to change. Not overnight, not instantly, but steadily. And that kind of change lasts. This is a simple practice. It doesn't take more than 5 or 10 minutes. But it carries weight. It influences your decisions all day long. You begin to say no to things that waste your time. You begin to say yes to challenges that develop you. You stop living in survival mode. You start living with direction. You want to build a better future. You want to grow into your potential. You want to feel the progress that comes from hard work and clear thinking. Then do not skip this. Do not treat it like a chore. Treat it like oxygen for your dreams. Because every great achievement begins with a decision. And that decision must be repeated every day. There will be days when you question yourself. Days when you don't see results yet. Days when the goal feels far away. Those are the most important days to review your goals. That's when most people drift. That's when they stop trying. But not you. You're going to stay connected to your purpose. You're going to stay grounded in your vision. Because you chose not just to dream, but to build. Keep your goals in front of you, not behind you, not someday in the future. Right here, right now. Let them guide your focus. Let them shape your energy. Let them remind you what kind of person you are becoming. When you write your goals down and review them daily, you do more than create direction. You build a new mindset, one that's rooted in clarity, one that's driven by action, one that's committed to progress. This habit, practiced with consistency and honesty, is a force. It's a daily decision to live with purpose, instead of drifting through the motions. 30 days of this can lead to a lifetime of difference. You'll start to feel more connected to what you're doing. You'll notice your discipline improving. You'll become more honest with yourself. And you'll feel that quiet confidence grow. The kind that comes from keeping your word to yourself. That kind of trust is rare. And it starts by writing your goals down and reviewing them every single day. Number 3, exercise your body every single day without fail. This is not about building the perfect body. It's about building a better you. Every day you move with purpose. You take responsibility for your health, your energy, and your life. You are telling yourself, I matter enough to take care of me. That choice, It affects how you think, how you feel, and how much you can give to everything else in your life. Your body is not a machine you can ignore and expect it to serve you. It's the foundation for your focus, your energy, and your mood. You can't live with strength in your mind if your body is weak. You can't stay clear and confident if you're constantly tired or sick. And you can't give your best when you don't feel your best. That's why daily movement matters. It's not a suggestion, it's a responsibility. Every time you move your body, you are breaking the pattern of comfort. You are stepping into effort. And effort is where transformation begins. The sweat, the burn, the push. It all teaches you something deeper than just physical strength. It teaches you that you can show up even when it's hard. It reminds you that discipline isn't about how you feel, it's about what you decide. Even 10 or 15 minutes a day is enough to build momentum. You don't need fancy equipment or a gym membership. You need a commitment. You need to stop negotiating with yourself about whether or not you'll do it. You simply decide. You get up, you move, you follow through. That consistency becomes identity. You become someone who doesn't quit on themselves. Don't wait for motivation. It's unreliable. Some days you'll have it, most days you won't. But you don't need motivation when you have a standard. When you say to yourself, this is just what I do. The decision gets easier. You don't have to argue with yourself about whether you're tired or busy or not in the mood. You made a promise to move your body every day, and promises to yourself matter. Physical movement has a direct effect on your mental clarity. When you exercise, you release tension. You release stress. You give your brain the chemicals it needs to focus, to feel steady, to stay positive. You reduce the weight of anxiety. You increase the feeling of being alive. That alone is worth the effort, because your mindset is your most valuable asset, and your body is the gateway to a stronger mindset. There's also a confidence that comes from this habit, not the kind that comes from appearance, the kind that comes from keeping your word. When you finish a workout, even a short one, you feel something shift inside. You feel proud, not because it was easy, but because you did it anyway. You pushed. You stayed in the work. That's the kind of confidence that stays with you in every area of life. Every single day gives you a choice. You can ignore your body and let your energy drift, or you can respect it and build strength from the inside out. Choose the second path. Make the decision before the day begins. Plan it, schedule it, and don't skip it. Not for anyone, not for anything. Because when you prioritize your health, you bring your best self to every other responsibility you carry. You don't need to compare your workout to anyone else's. This is not about intensity. This is about intention. Walk, stretch, lift, run, dance, do push-ups in your room. What matters is that you move with purpose, that you activate your body and break the pattern of stillness. When your body moves, your mind wakes up. When your blood flows, your thoughts become clearer. It all works together. In the beginning, your body might resist. You'll feel sore. You'll feel tired. That's normal. Don't mistake that discomfort for failure. That's your body learning. That's your muscles remembering what it feels like to be strong. Let the soreness remind you that you're doing something meaningful. That pain is not punishment. It's progress. And in time, you'll begin to crave it. You'll want to move because of how it makes you feel. Not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. If your schedule is full, find small pockets of time. You don't need an hour. You need discipline. You need a few minutes where you say, I will not skip this. It could be early morning before the world starts pulling at you. It could be on your lunch break. It could be after work when your energy is low but your commitment stays strong. Just make the time. Keep it sacred. This daily habit will also affect how you see yourself. When you keep showing up for your body, you stop seeing yourself as someone who quits. You stop doubting your ability to follow through. You start to believe in your own consistency. And that belief shows up everywhere. At work, in relationships, in the way you talk to yourself. It's not just about the movement. It's about the message it sends. I do what I said I would do. Give it 30 days. 30 days of showing up. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. You will feel stronger. You will think more clearly. You will sleep better. You will walk into each day with a greater sense of control, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. You built that strength one small decision at a time, and over time this habit becomes more than physical. It becomes a way of life. It becomes part of who you are. The person who doesn't make excuses. The person who doesn't wait for the perfect conditions. The person who shows up every single day with purpose, with energy and with pride. This is not about perfection. It's about presence. Show up for yourself. Honor your body. Use it. Strengthen it. Care for it. Because you only get one. And when you use it with intention, it gives back. In energy. In clarity. In confidence. In peace. So if you want your life to transform, start with your body. Move it every day. Not just when it's easy. Not just when you feel like it. But every day. Without fail. That's how change begins. That's how strength is built. That's how you become who you were meant to be. Number 4. Read 10 pages of a life-changing book daily. That one decision has the power to separate a life of progress from a life of regret. Every page you read holds an idea, a principle, a lesson that someone spent years learning, now handed to you in minutes. 10 pages may not seem like much, but 10 pages a day becomes over 3,000 pages a year. That's dozens of books. That's dozens of breakthroughs. That's dozens of moments where your thinking shifts and your world opens up. You grow when your mind is stretched. You evolve when your thoughts are challenged. Most people stop learning after school. They rely on routine. They operate the same way every day and wonder why nothing changes. But the person who reads every day, especially books that feed the mind, stir the heart and sharpen the will, that person continues to expand. They don't stay stuck. They move forward. They think clearer. They see more options. They make better decisions. Books are tools, not entertainment, not background noise. Tools. They help you see what you couldn't see before. They give you strategies for handling pain, for handling pressure, for handling success. They give you language for emotions you didn't know how to express. And when you choose books that focus on growth, on mindset, purpose, discipline, courage, you build an internal library that serves you for life. 10 pages. That's all it takes. You don't need to read for hours. You just need to be consistent. Find 10 pages that speak to who you want to become. Pick books that challenge your beliefs. Pick books that have changed lives. When you find a book that speaks to you, take it seriously. Don't skim. Don't rush. Read slowly. Take notes. Reflect on what you've read. Ask yourself, how can I use this today? Reading is not a passive act. It's active. It's a conversation between your current self and your future self. Every sentence gives you a chance to think deeper, to ask questions, to correct your thinking, to understand yourself better. And when you give it your attention fully, it rewards you with wisdom that can't be bought. Most people say they don't have time, but they waste hours on things that leave them empty. You don't need time. You need priority. Make reading a non-negotiable part of your day. Do it in the morning to set your mind right, or do it at night to unwind with purpose. But do it, and do it with respect. You're not just reading to say you read. You're reading to improve how you think, how you act, how you live. Reading the right books daily will start to separate you from the crowd. You'll think in ways most people don't. You'll speak with clarity. You'll carry a calm confidence because you've trained your mind to slow down and focus. You'll be less reactive, more intentional. You'll notice connections others miss. That awareness gives you power, not over others, but over yourself. There's something powerful about knowing you are still a student, no matter your age or title or experience. When you open a book with humility, you open yourself to grow. That's what leaders do. That's what achievers do. They learn, constantly. Not because they're weak, but because they're honest enough to admit they don't know it all. And here's what happens when you keep this habit up. You begin to anticipate your future challenges. You start recognizing patterns in people, in problems, in emotions. You find your thoughts becoming clearer. You build a mental reserve that you can draw from when life hits you, because life will. And the person who has filled their mind with powerful thoughts, truths, principles, perspective, that person will not panic. That person will respond with strength. Books also remind you that you're not alone. Others have walked through fear. Others have stumbled through confusion. Others have rebuilt their lives after failure, and they've written it down. So you don't have to guess. So you don't have to repeat every mistake. That's a gift. If you're wise enough to receive it, start with one book that speaks to your hunger to grow. Choose a book that challenges you to think deeply. A book that's been recommended by those you admire.
Yeah.
Read 10 pages of it, not as a task to check off, but as a moment to strengthen your mind. Make it your daily investment, because that's what it is. An investment in your future self. 10 pages, that's the line. Some days it will be easy. Other days it will feel like a chore, but show up anyway. Open the book, sit with it. Focus, even when your mind wanders, even when you're distracted. This is about building discipline. And discipline is what holds your life together when motivation fades. You'll be surprised by what happens after a few weeks. Words will start coming back to you during the day. You'll catch yourself thinking differently. You'll notice a sentence from the book, changing the way you respond in a difficult moment. That's not luck. That's the result of intentional reading. That's transformation in real time. Over time, this habit doesn't just affect your knowledge. It affects your character. You become more thoughtful, more curious, more grounded. You stop needing to win every argument because you've learned the value of understanding. You stop fearing failure because you've read the stories of those who failed and still built something great. You stop shrinking around pressure because you've trained your mind to stay steady. And remember, this is not about quantity. It's about consistency. 10 pages, done with intention, done every day. That builds something inside you that nothing else can. So if you want to improve how you think, how you speak, how you lead, and how you live, start reading 10 pages of a life-changing book every single day. Don't miss a day. Don't let the small size of the task fool you. It's not small, it's foundational. It's a quiet habit that creates loud change. This is how you rewire your thinking. This is how you start to see possibilities where others see problems. This is how you build a better future, one page at a time. Read like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Your choices, your confidence, your perspective, your standards are shaped by the thoughts you carry. So choose to feed your mind well, choose to grow, choose to keep learning, and choose to do it daily, 10 pages at a time.
Number 5. Speak positive words to yourself with full belief. Every day you speak to yourself, whether you notice it or not. Your inner voice becomes your guide, your critic, your coach. And when that voice is harsh, filled with doubt and judgment, you shrink. But when that voice is kind, strong, and full of conviction, you rise. You begin to act with purpose. You begin to stand with strength. Speaking positive words to yourself is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to believe you can handle what comes your way. There are enough people in the world who will try to bring you down. You don't need to be one of them. What you say to yourself is what your mind accepts. If you keep repeating, "I'm not good enough," you'll act like it. If you tell yourself, "I'm not ready," you'll wait your whole life. But if you say, "I can do this," and you mean it, something shifts inside. You start to move forward, even when it's uncomfortable. You begin to trust your steps, even when the path is unclear. It's not magic, it's alignment. Your words shape your emotions shape your behavior shapes your results. And it all begins with what you speak to yourself when no one is watching. Most people speak to themselves in a way they would never speak to a friend. They criticize, they doubt, they repeat the worst parts of their past. But if you want to grow, if you want to become the person you were meant to be, you must speak with belief. And not once, but every single day. This is not about hype. This is about honesty. You have strengths. You have resilience. You have the ability to improve. These are truths. Remind yourself of them. Say it out loud. I am getting stronger. I am capable of making progress. I deserve to live with purpose. These aren't empty statements. They are anchors. They keep your mindset rooted in strength. And don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Begin right where you are. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, speak it until your mind starts to accept it. Say it with intention. Say it with presence. You are not just repeating words, you are setting a direction for your thoughts. You are steering your energy away from fear and toward action.
Negative self-talk can sneak in without warning. Maybe you mess up. Maybe someone doubts you. Maybe you fail at something important, and suddenly your mind starts playing the old tape again. See? You're not good enough. But that's the moment where this habit becomes powerful. That's when you stop the cycle. You take a breath, and you speak something better. You say, "This doesn't define me." You say, "I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm moving forward." What you say about yourself matters more than what anyone else says. Because you live with your thoughts every day. You wake up with them. You go to bed with them. And when you train yourself to speak with strength, you start to live with more peace, more focus, more confidence. You stop looking for approval in places that can't give it. You give it to yourself. Not from ego, but from truth. This habit also builds resilience. Life will test you. You'll have moments of uncertainty, moments where things fall apart. And when that happens, your first response matters. Will you break down or rise up? That depends on the words you've been speaking to yourself all along. If you've trained yourself to say, "I'm built for this," then when the pressure comes, you won't run. You'll face it with steady hands and a clear mind. Your words can also shape your future, not just by how they make you feel, but by how they make you act. When you say, "I will improve," you start making decisions that align with that belief. When you say, "I am responsible," you stop blaming others and start taking ownership. When you say, "I can grow from this," you open yourself to solutions. That's the power of positive self-talk done with belief. This isn't just about feeling good. It's about building habits that lead to results. Confidence doesn't come from success alone. It comes from knowing you've prepared your mind to handle any challenge. It comes from knowing you speak to yourself in a way that lifts you, not limits you. Don't wait until things fall apart to start this habit. Build it now, in the quiet moments, in the morning when you wake up, at night before you rest. Speak life into your day. Speak strength into your journey. Say, "Today I will do my best." Say, "No matter what happens, I will not quit." These words become your internal compass. They remind you who you are when the world tries to distract you. And remember, this isn't about saying something once and expecting everything to change. It's about repetition. It's about speaking the truth to yourself every single day, until it becomes part of how you think. Just like training your body, training your mind takes consistency. You don't get strong from one workout, and you don't get mentally tough from one sentence, but you do get stronger each time you show up with intention. Your voice is powerful. You've used it to build others up. Now use it to build yourself, not with empty flattery, but with grounded truth, with real belief, with the commitment to stand by yourself no matter what. Because at the end of the day, the most important relationship you have is the one you have with yourself. Start today. Choose your words. Speak with strength. Speak with care. Speak with purpose. Tell yourself what you need to hear, not just what you feel. Remind yourself of who you are and who you're becoming. And when doubt creeps in, and it will answer it with belief, answer it with conviction. This daily habit doesn't take long, but it stays with you. It shapes how you carry yourself. It shapes how you respond to stress. It shapes how you pursue your goals. So speak as someone who values their future. Speak as someone who refuses to stay stuck. Speak as someone who knows they have more to give, more to become, more to live for. Speak positive words to yourself with full belief, not because life is perfect, but because you're building the mindset to rise through it, every single day, without excuse, without exception. That's how transformation begins. That's how you change the direction of your life, from the inside out.